What if you could work 20% of your current schedule and reap 80% of the benefits? According to the 80-20 rule or Pareto's Principle, this is not as far-fetched as it sounds. You may have heard about the 80-20 rule or the 80-20 principle, but what exactly is it? To find out, we need to go back to where it all started, late 19th century Italy, where an economist called Vilfredo Pareto, which is why you might also hear it being called Pareto's Principle, noticed that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by 20% of the population. Strangely enough, he found that in many other countries this was also the case. Incidentally, he also noticed 20% of his pea plants were producing 80% of the peas. But how does this affect you, you might ask? The 80-20 rule doesn't just apply to land in the 19th century. Turns out that it can be applied to just about anything. Even today, the richest 20% make up around 83% of the income. In the stock market, 20% of investments bring 80% of the returns. 20% of criminals commit 80% of crimes. And with infections, 20% of people are thought to spread 80% of transmissions. The same goes for relationships, business, and pretty much anything else that you can think of. It should be said that this is not a black and white rule, but is an observation that has been repeated many times in many different fields. So how can you use this to your advantage? It essentially means that a small proportion of your actions give you the vast majority of your results. And it also works vice versa, meaning most of your effort brings you only a small proportion of your results. I'll emphasize that again. 80% of your effort brings you only 20% of your results. This is why it's so important to identify your 20% and make that your top priority. This is what will make you efficient. It's not rare to see people working at extraordinary levels of intensity. That could be at their jobs doing long hours, at home working on side projects or hustles, or even just working on keeping the house clean. Over time, this can lead to demotivation, stress, and missing out on your goals. This principle is a real eye-opener when we think that time is a finite resource, meaning it can't be replaced. You should use it doing the things that will give you the most from it. Working hard is certainly important, but working in the right places is more important. Imagine being able to combine both. By working intensely on the higher yielding actions, this is a recipe to propel yourself into success. Naturally, the next step is how do you identify your 20%? Well, like we said, it depends on your goals and tracking those goals. I'll leave a link to videos about those in case you don't already know about them. But picking smart goals are important because they're trackable, meaning you can see what you're doing that is bringing results, or if what you're doing isn't really achieving what you wanted. For example, an estate agent trying to sell more houses might notice they're selling most of their houses to younger couples, but are spending equally as much time with older clients. In this instance, it may be more efficient to aim specifically at younger couples rather than spend time chasing older clients. This may save the estate agent time and allow the profits to roll in. Overall, the real take-home message from this is that finding those few things that bring you your results and then focusing especially on them is a way to dramatically increase your results while potentially reducing the effort exerted. I would love to hear examples of how you have experienced the 80-20 principle or how you would apply it to your life. So feel free to comment your experience or ideas down below.